people really need to step outside of their boxes if they are to attain any sort of individual solution to their dilemma. And right now they have people in a very divided state consciously and comparing the climate now, energetically, socially, to previous political cycles. I've never seen it like this. Have you? I haven't. I think a lot of you haven't. So what is this? And I've gotten into details in other videos about this being part of the ramp up to war. So how do we prevent it? Now, I don't live an easy life because the content, as you know, is controversial and a lot of people will place a judgment against that. So it's been important for me to go my own way as an individual. It's not always easy. So my investment right now and for the foreseeable future is to share information. And I believe in the power of ideas. And as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. If the information wasn't powerful, they wouldn't be disappearing people on the internet. It's another way around censorship. And it's what we're seeing now with the new social media algorithms. So it's a powerful tool. And if one particular digital avenue seems to start, manifesting these gates here and there, as we're also flooded with this information, we look at other tools and other means, not just other websites, but things in the offline world, or each at different levels of capability. Talents, you could say, this applies to everything. So there are certain people out there with certain talents, and it may have nothing to do with information sharing. They may be really good with people. They may have the ability to put together an intentional community and not have it based around super selfish reasons. It's okay to want to improve your situation. It's just the model that some people go about doing. But can it be done? Absolutely. I believe that we're capable of more than what we're doing. I believe I'm more capable than what I'm currently doing, either in media or in other things. They say we only use 10% of our brains. See, the fact of the matter is we have the capabilities to choose to evolve individually. That free will we have. And to strengthen our consciousness so we're less susceptible to the mind control and the programming. That's our responsibility. I see many others, right, that have forgotten that responsibility. And they're in a state of psychosis and fear. And that is not healthy. And the topics that I address and bring up are charged with fear. And it's unfortunate. It's not my intention to participate in the fear game matrix frequency of the dark grid. And at times it can pull a lot of people in that are into conspiratorial thought. And see, there's truth in learning about how elements of our physical world are controlled, but there's a spiritual truth above that. And if we forget the spiritual truth above that, then we could be led down dark paths. And as I see from some, become the abyss. And some people have become what they purported to hate. Those well-known figures in the alternative media. It's important to see that level of human transformation of consciousness, not for the better. In a day and age, right, where a lot of people have only looked perhaps at one side of the collective shift in consciousness, are perceivably positive. You look at the mass consciousness today, as I say often, even the types of mates that people pick. What are those things based on? Is it based in higher consciousness and spirituality? Or is it based in animal lust and instinct gone awry, manipulated? Because instinct can be manipulated through the subconscious. So in this day and age, it's important to unplug and realize waking ourselves up, freeing our own mind, freeing ourselves from mind, different ways of expressing that, different philosophies on that, is more important than waiting for the world to wake up. This is like a soul petri dish. I see it as a soul petri dish. This planet that we're on, the souls that are here, the souls that are here from different places. And some souls, I think, from a lower dimension. Some elements of humanity is absolutely new to them. Others are return visitors. And whether we're cursed here or we're here to do great work, eye of the beholder, perhaps a little bit of both, but there's a reason why we're here. And there's a reason why we have certain tools, right, to affect the world in a more positive way, with consciousness, with ideas, with action. There are people out there, perhaps yourself, with a particular skill. I think about these communities where people can organize and have their own economies. And of people of a like consciousness that are able to work together without a socialist system, but certain boundaries, right? It's healthy to create that. Rules sounds like a dirty word, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of organization. And human beings have shown they're very capable of organizing and being very focused and obsessed with certain things. It's a matter of redirecting that. Now we're going to see the whole world do that on a collective level. Certainly there's been a lot of people that have predicted that. I see the world as more of an abstract painting than anything else. Speaking of painting, something from a friend. So it's like we have really an abstract mesh of souls, interactions, life experiences. And it's only at a deeper level of ourselves, our higher selves, that really knows why we're here. It's the lower self, stuck in animal consciousness mode, stuck in survival instinct manipulated mode, that is confused about why he or she is here. But there's a reason we're here. And that reason is something that you come to on your own, and I come to on my own. And I don't think it's really someone's reason to be here to put on a uniform and go overseas and kill people abroad. Or involve themselves in other things just to make money. Or to appease society, their parents, their wife, their girlfriend. No, there's a deeper reason why we're here. And it doesn't come through the quest for social acceptance. But when they set up this type of social acceptance, peer pressure group matrix, it's going to capture the mass of the susceptible minds that don't know the first thing about protecting their mind. So as you start waking up more and more, right, to certain deceptions and conspiracies, are you waking up your mind to the deeper levels of why you're experiencing what you're experiencing with your greater awareness, perhaps, that might be kicking in on certain levels? Synchronicities, for example. Why are we waking up to a great evil upon this planet? Or, for some, on the verge of realizing that it is a great evil. And it is organized. And it is beyond mankind. And so we can see this divide of humanity. It's a program that's almost beyond this universe, but being played upon the souls within this universe. So I think humans are imaginative enough. A lot of people want to be positive. Once people realize that truth, how do they reverse that in their lives? How do they stop the brainwashing? How do they clean out the subliminal gunk? And why should they? See, and there's ways we can reprogram and retrain ourselves to a healthier outlook and way of life. And simple things, like what you put in your body is as important as what you watch, for example, or vice versa. So a lot of people get hooked on a lot of violence and fear. As I say, fear porn or violence. what was that video series, Faces of Death, that became a cult classic? Kind of before YouTube, back in the days of VHS, featuring people dying on camera and then someone compiling these different clips. Right, so we want to keep some of that stuff and the fights we're seeing. I'm now curtailing more what I watch online, because I could feel that frequency. At the same time, we're also gifted to be upgraded, if you will, on a conscious level, to be able to access videos and watch things with information compiled in it that may have taken hundreds of years or thousands of years to compile, or information that was never shared all together in one place. So the analogy, the buffet, you have all these organic fruits and vegetables, quinoa, things like hummus. There's all different types of superfoods that are on the market but expensive and out of reach. And then you have over here just all this processed, tastes really good, instant satisfaction. And it's like you look at media and it's functioning the same way. It takes time to read a book. But the process of reading a book or books, as I'm working to do more and more. Here's another one. World War Zero, since it's a big hit, I thought I would pick that up when I was at the thrift store. And another book on spiritual texts. I like to collect things from around the world. So we live in a day and age, whether it be digital or books or through other means, people traveling around using modern transportation, talking to people, where normally, people were stuck in their own communities. There's like a massive sharing of information. And I do believe that we have free will. I want to conclude by reminding you that you have free will with what you're going to do with this information. Some people become the monsters that they're fighting. Others evolve beyond the game. And I would suggest we focus on what it means to evolve beyond this game. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.